Hi, everybody, and welcome into the SunDevilSource postgame show. I'm Ethan Tuttle, joined alongside Chris Cartman. We just wrapped up Arizona State's 75-70 loss to the Oregon Ducks here at Desert Financial Arena. The Sun Devils dropped to 16-8 overall and 7-6 in conference play. Chris, the Sun Devils had the lead after the first half, but Oregon able to get on a good run to start the second half. What were some of the contributing factors there?
Yeah, I think the end of that first half, Desmond Cambridge tried to throw a lob inside to Warren Washington with only 7-8 seconds left. The ball ends up getting turned over. Oregon hits a three going into the break. It seemed like that was a momentum hit for the Sun Devils, and then Oregon comes out 14-4 run. Bartholomew hit 3 threes in the game on 3 attempts, and he had 10 points in that stretch. Oregon shot the ball better than it has done throughout the season, especially from the perimeter. And ASU didn't have its normal sort of defensive intensity and rotations, I thought, in the half court. There was turnovers that also contributed. Foul trouble was a really big theme in this game. In that outset of the second half, Oregon was in the bonus just 8.5 minutes into the second half. ASU had 11 fouls. Then Bobby Hurley got a technical foul because he was unhappy with kind of the way that the game was being officiated at that stage. And all of that created this kind of a mess that ASU was put in after what was a pretty good overall first half.
And the Sun Devils were able to claw back there in the second half, coming within 1 point. What were some of the contributing factors to them being able to kind of claw back into things?
Yeah, I mean, they did have better defense throughout that stretch. The ball security improved. I thought the energy in the building really lifted after Bobby Hurley got that technical foul, and they were able to get some stops, and that kind of helped them. Then finally, they started to have some offensive success, making some baskets. Frankie Collins did a good job of getting the ball in and around the basket, had a nice and one. Des Cambridge kind of finally got it going after an extremely quiet night. But at the end, they had chances, right? They missed their last 4 shots from the field. We saw Luther Muhammad, who had a very good first half, was their leading scorer in the half. Not as much in the second half. Then he maybe kind of took a questionable corner three right where we're standing just about, followed by a DJ Horn sort of rush 2-point long shot just inside the arc over 7-footer. Dante of Oregon. ASU did get a quality look there on its last real attempt to be able to try to tie the game up with Desmond Cambridge, but that also missed. You got to be able to have some good offensive sequences in some of these games. ASU's been a good team in the 2-possession games this season, but did not execute in this one.
Yeah, Sun Devils on a bit of a rough patch of games here. They've found some losses, and they've got to find a winning path. But what's the path look like for the NCAA tournament come the end of the season? What are they going to have to do to try to claw their way into that?
Look, they've lost 5 of their last 6 games after starting 6-1, the best conference start that they've had since 1981. We saw tonight that Desmond Cambridge, who's such an important offensive weapon for them, didn't score until 30-something minutes into the game. Warren Washington was missing 4 or 5 sort of gimme baskets, jump hooks, and other shots around the rim. They had foul trouble, which was a problem. They had turnovers, which was a big problem. The free throw disparity was a significant thing. They're not good enough offensively to be able to have several of those things happening in any game, maybe not even 2 or 3 of those things happen in any game. And they can't give up 3-point shots the way that they did tonight that were open when another team have an opponent shoot 40% in their own building. The reality is, moving forward, they're going to have to go sweep at Cal and Stanford. Then they're going to have to come back at home and beat Colorado and Utah. If they don't win the next 4 games, they really don't even have much of a chance at all. But then even if they do that at this point, they're going to probably have to win at least 1 against Arizona, USC, UCLA, maybe even 2 of those 3, and then also have a solid performance in the Pac-12 tournament. So they're going to drop into the low 60s probably in the net. That number has to probably be in the 50s by the end of the year. So they have a lot of work to do. Now, to put it in perspective, though, they were in the 40s in the net just a few weeks ago, prior to kind of all this unraveling that kind of happened. It's asking a lot for them to change, to get so much of a turnaround after kind of the way that these last few weeks have played out.
75-70, the final here from Desert Financial Arena. Oregon gets the win. Thanks so much for tuning in to another SunDevilSource postgame show. He's Chris Cartman. I'm Ethan Tuttle. Make sure you keep tuned to SunDevilSource.com for all the content. See you next time.